What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Video Nasties. Back again with retro horror as usual. And today we're doing The Boogeyman from 1980, or the alternate title, Bogeyman, which is a alternate spelling in the UK. This apparently was a video nasty in the 1992 video release. Actually had 44 seconds cut out during a scene involving a woman in a bathtub. And that's pretty much the scene that really deemed this to be in the video nasties. So, yeah, interesting. As usual, I'll let Retro go over the synopsis of the film, and then we'll give you guys our thoughts.
Well, it's a strange story. Uli Lamel, of course, came out of the Rainer Fassbinder factory in Germany, which we can talk about after the synopsis. But Boogeyman is one of the first mirror horror films. I mean, you had From Beyond the Grave, which had the David Warner episode where he was dealing with a possession in a mirror type thing. But other than Boogeyman and From Beyond the Grave, you really didn't have a whole lot of mirror horror. The story starts off with two kids, Lacey and Willie, who witness their mother getting wild with this strange dude who really just kind of has like a blank look on his face, kind of a la Michael Myers a little bit. At any rate, they want to get nasty, so they tie up the boy. I don't know why they tied up the boy, not the girl, but anyway, the girl releases her brother, and Willie kills the man while they're doing the nasty. And then you fast forward 20 years later. They're grown up now. Willie is now a mute, I guess, because of the stress and of that incident. And the evil from the killer is now possessed in this mirror, which gets released when the mirror gets broken. And then, of course, then you get a whole series of interesting, and some of them are pretty iconic kills that follow. Once the killer, if you will, gets released from this mirror, then things just really kind of take a sharp left turn into weirdness territory. The plot really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But it's an interesting supernatural slasher. I don't think it's great, but it's interesting, and it's it's a point in time. 1980. I think it's got a lot of atmosphere and a great score. I like the musical score.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Like I texted you, I think it was kind of a Halloween-ish score to it there at the beginning, especially. It was kind of took that and kind of made it its own thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just definitely reminded me of that in some sense. It had a lot of weird noises throughout too, just some random sounds.
Yeah, I think it had a lot of influences from Goblin and maybe even Tubular Bells as well. I don't know that was just Carpenter's. I mean, Carpenter's Halloween is a really simple score, but this had some. I think this had a little bit more complexity to it. The guy that did the musical score, I think he only did this and Return of the Boogeyman score. That's it. Nothing else. Toby, can't remember his last name. Toby Tobin, I think was his last name. Yeah, but interesting. There's a lot of interesting backstory to this film.
Yeah, and it has a nice little interview on this 88 release with the director as well. Runs about, like 12 or 13 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, Uli's an interesting character. I tell you, his best film, which I hear nobody talk about, is Tenderness of the Wolves.
I was getting ready to say his most notable films are probably that and Olivia or Double Jeopardy or whatever you want to call it.
Prosy. I don't really like that movie too much.
Yeah, but those are like his highest rated movies, is those two and this one. And then he did a bunch of kind of like Wild Eye titles.
Straight to video.
There. Straight to video. They all got like 1 point something 2-star ratings.
Yeah.
A lot of crap.
He was a Rainer Fassbinder protege. I don't know if I've done some reviews of Fassbinder films. They're melodramas, which obviously is not right for this channel, but I really Rainer Fassbinder is my favorite director of all time, and he's not even a horror director. But he was part of the anti-theater with Rainer Fassbinder back in the '60s and '70s in a lot of Rainer films, and then Rainer produced and let him direct Tenderness of the Wolves, which is one of the most brutal most disturbing serial killer films you'll ever see. I mean, I highly recommend it. It's beautifully shot, which even makes it more disturbing. So, other than Boogeyman, I mean, I think Tenderness of the Wolves is far and away his best piece.
I hear people talk about that one quite a bit. I know it has that Arrow video release.
Yeah, it's a
It's definitely one. I think I have it. I just haven't checked it out yet. But I think it's his
yeah.
highest rated film, actually.
You got to check it out, man. It's a beautiful film, a disturbing film too. Uli was married to the lead actress in this, Suzanne
I
Law.
was reading that on IMDb right before we started. There's a couple people on here that have some like relationships or are related somehow or something like that.
Yeah, well, the guy that played Willie, and then Suzanne was
Yeah,
they are brother and sister. So Suzanne, they're part of uh, the what family was that they were the part of? They were like a rich family that they were.
Partridge Family.
No, not the Partridge family. It was the DuPonts or um,
I don't know. I just noticed.
yeah.
I gotta bring this up really quick. I just noticed you have a plus next to your name, so we're going retro horror plus now. All right.
That's a typo.
Nah, it's cool. It stands out. And I had to stop and fix the banner because I had it. We hop. You are enjoying. So it's going really well so far.
Retro Horror Plus, huh?
Retro horror plus. Yep.
Yeah, she was part of the DuPont family, which apparently financed this film and a number of others. When so Uli knew how to like latch on to the money. I'm not suggesting he married her just because of the money, but it did seem to be that she's in a lot of these films in the '80s, and apparently she stroked a lot of checks in the '80s to keep some productions going, from what I understand.
Yeah, he seems like he would have been kind of a dickhead director too. He said he did everything in like one shot, only used like the amount of film needed. He never went over budget or over time or anything. Just
Yeah, it's funny watching this one and then contrasting with Tenderness of the Wolves. Um, it's like I don't know. It's like he just did it for the check. I mean, it's almost like a paycheck kind of gig. Which is surprising coming out of the Fassbender factory because they did it. They did movies for really nothing. They did government funded movies, and I'm just surprised that from an influence standpoint, none of that seemed to rub off on Uli. It seemed like he went wherever the cash flow was.
so you think Tenderness was more of a movie that he actually really wanted to do and had a passion for?
I think so, and of course Fassbender produced it. So when you look at that film, all of Rainer Fassbinder's films are just beautiful. I mean, just beautiful to look at. The cinematography is fantastic. Um, so I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, this is not.
this one had some weird choices in the cinematography of it. I can't say that I agree with some of their decisions on how they shot this film, but
Yeah, it really did. What did you think of the iconic kill though with the teens in the car?
hold on. Spoilers, guys, for those who don't know yet. There is spoilers in these episodes. I mean that was a pretty good kill. I will say. I mean, for those that haven't seen it, sorry. You know, uh, get the. I don't even know what that was that goes through his neck, but
Yeah, it was like it's like a
I
pickaxe
forget
or
what it was.
something. It's like a pickaxe through the back of the head. It went through his mouth and it impaled the girl that was kissing him. I mean, that's a great kill.
Yeah, it's definitely the one that stands out the most.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, Other interesting backstory to this was Jerry Gross distributed it, and he was like I mean, he was a big time exploitation. Yeah, a little feedback there. I don't know if that's
Yeah, I
is
noticed.
that me or.
It's because Waffles just messaged me. That's why.
But yeah, Jerry Gross is an interesting character. So he distributed this film, and he did others like he distributed "I Drink Your Blood" and "I Eat Your Skin." But he was a very shady producer that this kind of distributor that kind of just disappeared in the 2000s. I mean, I think the big studios kind of like squeezed him out, and then he just kind of disappeared from the scene after the 70s and early 80s. But this movie made $25 million, so somebody got rich on it.
That's surprising. Actually, I mean, it's not a terrible movie by any means. It just, like I said, some of their choices on the directions they went with it were kind of questionable. But I don't know about the having the whole her kind of being, I guess, kind of possessed as well, going along with the mirror
Yeah,
aspect of it as well. I think they could have left that out and just stuck with the mirror aspect.
yeah. It takes some definitely sharp left turns. I mean, but you got to admit the atmosphere in this is good. There's some great moments of atmosphere. I mean, the cover scene here was excellent. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah.
there's some excellent atmosphere in this film, and I like the music in it. Um, it's a little slow to get going. Once you get the opening setup with the two kids. I mean, I think it's a little slow. It's a short movie. I think it's less than 85 minutes.
Yep, 85 minutes. Yep.
Yeah,
And definitely a Amityville horror house looking. The house really reminiscent of that as well.
yeah. Well, that's which one of the Amityville films was featured a mirror too? That was like that's in that Vinegar Syndrome box. Uh, Amityville 5 or 6, one of those had
I don't
was
know.
another one that featured possessed mirrors or yeah, they started to get in all the furniture, lamps and crap in the Amityville series.
Not sure on that one, but it just I love that style of house though, with those little windows off to the side, and just it gives it that creepy vibe for sure. And
Yeah,
I love how they let the little kid play around the well by himself all the time too. Like he can just fall down there at any second. You just
yeah,
stay here. We'll be back.
yeah. Of course, John Carradine makes an appearance in this one as a
Right, which
psychiatrist.
they shot those after the fact, after the movie was done.
Yeah, yeah. So John Carradine got his paycheck. I thought he come off. John Carradine comes off plausible. Pretty
Yeah,
much everything he does, no matter how ridiculous it is, he always seems to come across as very plausible.
definitely the best acting in the film, but overall it wasn't bad. It was what it needed to be for this kind of movie, especially like Willie's character. I mean, being the mute. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. He
but
went on to do. He was in Fatal Games. I don't know if you remember that one, but that's another slasher. He wasn't in a lot of movies. He was. I guess he didn't need to since he was in, probably inherited a lot of money from the DuPont family. But yeah, he was in a few films.
I think that the worst acting was those kids on the beach. That was
Oh yeah.
they were pretty bad.
Well, they were just fodder to get killed, right? I mean, at the end of the
I love how they're cooking like one hot dog on that grill too. Just like, oh, the hot dogs are almost done. Get the buns. Blah blah. Blah. There's like one
they're going to
in there.
split that in
You guys
three.
gonna split that 4 ways? Jesus. And that did not look like an appealing spot on the beach either. It looked disgusting. Just
Yeah.
next to this abandoned house, and yeah.
Well, they made a sequel to this. Oli made a sequel, which I have on this. I guess this is not the Anchor Bay. This is just a Sony DVD, but it's got Return of the Boogeyman 2, which you don't need to watch because similarly to Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
Yeah,
It's
he
just
was
a
saying they used about
compilation.
20 minutes of the footage of the first one or something, and
Yeah, it's just a compilation. Uli calls it a reimagining of the first film, but that's
yeah,
it really is just it's just scenes from the first film.
there's actually a third one too, but
Yeah,
yeah,
there's a
he
third
doesn't
one,
know
and
anything about
that's
them.
if they did a TV series in 2016. I haven't seen that though, called The Boogeyman. I haven't seen that.
I like the one they did later on with this using that name and had what's his name in it. Damn it, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The one they did in like 2011 or whenever it was. That
Yeah,
one was really good.
yeah, I can't remember that.
I gotta try to find that now. It's gonna drive me nuts.
Anyway, I'm kind of at a 6 out of 10 on
2005.
this
Sorry,
one. What's that?
it was a 2005 Boogeyman. That's what it was.
Haven't seen it.
Barry Watson, that guy that was on. I think he was on like Seventh Heaven or something.
Okay, I haven't seen that, but
Yeah, he was on Seventh.
yeah, I'm kind of in a 6 out of 10 on this one.
Oh man, you're being gracious.
Uh, well, there's a lot, there's quite a bit of things I like about it. I mean, the only real complaint that I think you can lodge on this one is that it's kind of nonsensical, particularly when you get to after you get to the setup scene. It gets a little nonsensical. There's some plot holes and things, but I mean, other than that, I mean, I think it's a decent film, really.
If I had to rate it, get, uh, I'm at like a 4.5, man.
You just didn't like it then.
I don't know. It didn't grab me. I just
Yeah,
sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. This one just
but at least you're consistent because you also didn't like Oculus, which is another like the more modern mirror horror movie. I mean, so you really just probably don't like that kind
well, like
of.
we were talking before though. I like the movie Mirrors and I like Candyman and I like just it has to be done right. I guess I don't know. This one just fell short for me.
Yeah,
I mean, I say unless you're trying to complete the slasher classic collection like I do, just pick up the DVD or something if you really want to watch it or stream it.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not disappointed that it's in the collection. I might revisit it at some point for torture myself and see if I like it more. I don't know. Did you have a rundown of the kills for this one or?
well, they're not that many. I mean, really, you got that one iconic kill with uh, the ice pick in the back of the head.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got the pitchfork in the barn there.
you got the pitchfork in the barn, but other than that, it's not fraught with a lot of kills. You know, like I said, it's kind of hard to call this even a slasher film. To be honest with you, I mean, it's just more like a supernatural horror film. I really don't consider this a slasher film.
So you think mere horror is a subgenre?
Um, it's a
I don't know
small,
how many there has to be to be considered a
yeah.
subgenre.
Well, I think there's less than 10. Right? I mean, even if you include From Beyond the Grave, that episode with David Warner, it's kind of hard to come up with more than 10 movies that are where your central theme is, possession through a mirror or mirror horror. I mean, even Candyman. I mean, Candyman. Really, the focus isn't on to me on the mirror. I mean,
Right. This is
it
how
just
you're getting.
it's just got mirrors in it. It's an element of the movie, but Oculus is obviously the more modern film that comes to mind when you think about mirror horror.
Yeah. It's kind of
Uh,
surprising there's not really more because I think everyone has that moment where, especially like in the middle of the night or something, when and you go into the bathroom and you think you see something in the mirror, like at a
yeah.
glance, or I think it happens quite often to people,
Well,
and it seems like
it's definitely a trope used in a lot of movies. You see the girl in the mirror, she closes the medicine cabinet and then the mirror pops up and then you
yeah.
see see something behind her, that kind of deal. So that trope is in so many horror movies. You just see it coming from a mile away. Whenever there's a medicine cabinet, it's open. When she shuts it, there's going to be some shit behind her.
Even back to like the movie House, that's how he goes to save the kid. You got to open up the mirror and go through the.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Overall, I mean, like I say, if you're in the if you're in the mood for Uli Lamel, you got to do Tenderness of the Wolves. I would say this would be my second choice if you're going to look at an Uli Lamel film. But other than these two, I can't think of really
You're not a
anything.
fan of Olivia, huh? Or Prozzy or Double
No, I
Jeopardy,
don't.
whatever.
Prosy, I don't like Prosy. I just don't like it. I don't consider that a slasher movie. I don't know how that got on the slasher classics either.
Yeah, some of their choices is kind of like Scream Factory's choices to release under the Scream label instead of the Shout. Why is this a slasher classic when it's not really a slasher?
Right.
I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
all.
Yeah,
I don't really have a whole lot more for this one.
no, no. Some cheesy effects, going on when the glass lights up red and uh, kind of makes people do certain things to themselves. And I did like that scene too with the was it the scissors or what was it to the throat
Yeah,
where she
yeah,
kills
that
herself.
yeah, that was good. The bathtub scene, yeah, that was good. Um,
Yeah, that's where you get your little tiny bit of nudity in the film, just barely.
a little bit, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I tell you, I don't. This is another one. I just scratched my head. Is like, why the hell is this on the video nasties list? I mean, I just
yeah.
don't get it.
Like I said, that was the only thing I could find was that bathroom scene. I think because, like we've talked about before, because you had breast exposed and you had blood in the same scene, that's where they
Yeah, I
drew the
guess.
line right there. You couldn't have the two together, so that scene was cut out in the original like DVD release or uh, whatever it was.
So that was the 44 seconds that was cut out, not
44
the
seconds, yeah, yeah, that bathtub scene.
what about the ice pick?
I didn't say anything about that. It was just that, like I said, I think it's having the sex and the blood together
Huh?
is what really hits the censors.
Yeah. Well, Mary Whitehead or Whitehurst, who was kind of the linchpin to this movement to get everything banned, she's of course passed on now, so we can't ask her. She probably didn't even seen it. She probably just saw the she
Oh
probably
yeah,
saw the cover art, the video cover art, and said, that's got to get banned. We can't show that kind of crap.
yeah. It was kind of a catch-22 back then. You could either have really awesome video art that would sell the movie when it was on the shelf, or you could be more conservative and have a better chance of not getting banned. Because a lot of times they did base it off the title and the artwork, and just all right, that's got to go.
No, definitely, definitely. I think the marketing is what drove a lot of these films to get on the list. Um, yeah, so I guess we got to pick the
Oh
next one.
shit.
Yeah, I didn't get a
Uh,
chance to look at the
where
list.
where where are we at? At section
What?
one? Section one?
Well, this
All
was a
right.
section two.
This was. I think
Boogeyman
this
was
was two. Yeah.
Boogeyman was a two. Yeah.
Uh. Oh, Boogeyman 2 is on here. oh.
I,
Oh.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and suggest that we don't even need to watch Boogeyman two. I mean, if you've seen one, you've seen two.
Wait, I'm trying to find this one. I'm trying to. Are you sure this one was on here and not just the second one? 'Cause I don't see this one on the list, man.
Really?
Because they're in alphabetical order, right? Wasting time here. I think we were supposed to watch part two.
Hmm.
I hope not. Oh well, we did this one. Oh, there it is. It's up top. Yeah, Boogeyman 2 is on here too. This was section 2. All right, so we're back to section 1. Sorry for the delay, people, if you're still watching.
Section one.
Why don't we do?
Yeah, surprised me.
We did Island of Death. We did. I don't have Night of the Demon. Um,
Oh, that's a good one.
don't feel like going back to that. Let's do Anthropophagus.
Good choice. Very good choice. You got the Severin box?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get the doll with that?
No, there was a doll.
It came with a cannibal doll eating these intestines. You didn't get that?
No, no, I didn't. I think that was before I really got into Sever.
Okay.
I mean, we could do that, or we could do Bloody Moon. That's
No,
not a Severin, is it?
I'm good with Anthropophagus. I think that's a good choice. Good choice.
That's a long word.
I got two different copies of that. Of course, you 88 released it, and then
Yeah,
Severin also did it.
that was an Italian collection, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I had that one.
So I've got both. I've got both cuts. I'll probably watch both cuts and compare the two. Just because I'm a
You're just
masochist.
glutton's punishment, aren't you?
Oh, I'm a masochist. Oh yeah.
All right, well, we're way over our normal 20-minute mark, man. We're at 26,
All right.
so we're gonna get out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, I guess you can call it, and be sure to watch Anthropophagus. I can't say words, and join us next time.
Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.
Hopefully, I'll get that done soon. I don't know. Anything else going on we need to mention before we leave?
No, I will be posting a video of another update here.
Well, I don't know when this is going to go up.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm lazy. So,
all right.
All right.
Well, I enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate it.
Peace, love, happiness, all y'all. Catch y'all next time. Later.